pick that ball up, and they just couldn't get near him. I think they tried fouling him a few times.
The Japanese fan base is always going to support their man no matter what. Shout out to those guys.
I thought this goal, Chloe, was very Maradona-esque, like concrete in their boots. And Sony, what did you make of our magical Mitomas?
皆さん、こんにちは。本当にパート1からパート4の動画にたくさんの高評価、そしてたくさんご視聴いただきありがとうございます。また、この動画600ライクを達成したらパート5の動画もアップロードしますので、たくさんの高評価をよろしくお願いいたします。こちらが今現在のスコア予想ランキングになるんですけれども、2023-24シーズンから予想ゲームのルール変更がありました。まずはポイントに関しては、スコア予想を当てたら1ポイント、4点差以上のスコアを当てた場合は2ポイントなのですが、複数人が同じスコアを当てた場合はポイントをシェアすることになります。ですので、2対0の予想を当てた方が10人いたら1ポイントを10人で分けるので 0.10 ポイントとなります。もちろん誰も予想していないスコアが当たれば1ポイントまたは4点差以上の場合は2ポイントとなりますので、なるべく他の人のそのスコア予想を見てユニークなスコア予想、誰も予想してないスコア予想を当てればフルポイントを獲得して首位に立つことができます。今現在1位となっているのが T ちゃんさんが1ポイントで、2位がヨッピーさん 0.9 ポイントとなります。T ちゃんさんはレッチェ対ラツィオの2対1、そのラツィオが負けるっていう予想をして、誰もその予想をしなかったので、フルポイントを獲得することができました。では今回の動画はパート4の動画になりますが、まだパート1からパート3の動画を見ていない方はそちらを見ることをお勧めします。早速ですが、今回の動画はこちらになります。
But it didn't take Brighton long to get on the scorecard. I think it was about 15 minutes. Now, I want to give this goal in particular the time it deserves because they didn't really talk about it too much on Match of the Day, which surprised me because I thought this goal, Chloe, was very Maradona-esque. Let's refresh your memory from the Molineux. Karo Mitoma picks up the ball on the left-hand touchline, not too far into the Wolves half, and he dribbles it pretty much all the way into the Wolves box, breezing past 3 or 4 players. They can't get near him, and he slots it past Sarr. One of the most exquisite solo goals you are likely to see. It really was. I was down at Eastbourne Air Show, kind of like having my phone in front of me, and I was jumping up and down on the spot as I was like, go on, as you say, like, you know, it was just mesmerizing. And Sony, I think it would be fair to say, I've been quite critical of, not critical, but I've been quite underwhelmed with Karo Mitoma in pre-season. He was excellent last week, but he was a bit underwhelming in pre-season. And the tail end of last season, he didn't seem to be wanting to take players on as much. But wow, what a goal. I mean, you talk about taking on players, 3 or 4 players in the Wolves team. They just look like concrete in their boots. And as Chloe says, like, you know, one of the Wolves players, Semedo, who incidentally got a red card at the Molineux last season for fouling Mitoma. The only way that they were going to stop it was by bringing him down. Sony, what did you make of our magical Mitoma's wonderful goal?
I actually was just watching it before I hopped into the shower and got ready. It was like 5 people. He literally was just going around them left and right. And these guys would try to catch up and they would just fall behind. And their keeper tried to stop it, but clearly he was out of place and it just was one in the net. And you can just see everybody like freaking out. I remember seeing a little bit of that goal when I was at work. But just seeing that goal at work, my coworkers just kind of looked at me. They're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "We scored a goal, guys. Like, Mitoma scored a goal." And yeah, you're right. He was very much not willing to get up in front of players and like do his thing. I feel like he had some sort of hesitation. Maybe he wasn't sure of himself or something. Something must have happened because he was really good at one point and he was scoring goals. And then all of a sudden he was just kind of like off. So maybe like an assist here or there, but he wouldn't really be doing what he was known for. And so to see him kind of score on his own today was kind of like, oh, maybe he's back, I know people have been very critical of him. Obviously, the Japanese fan base is always going to support their man no matter what. Shout out to those guys. But I'm happy that it looks like he's maybe getting back on.
Now, I don't know if you know this, Chloe. I don't know if it's been shared widely, but Karen Matona apparently has a thesis in dribbling. I think we saw it on display yesterday.
No, I've never heard that myself. No. Yeah, it was just a brilliant goal, the way he picked that ball up, and they just couldn't get near him. I think they tried fouling him a few times, but it's just like that chant, he's just too good for you, and it was just like that. They could not get near him. And yeah,
また600ライクでこの動画の続きをアップロードしますので、たくさんの高評価をよろしくお願いいたします。そしてこちらがイングランド紙による、三笘選手の評価になります。こちらザーグスの、記事になるんですけれども、最も評価が低かったのがミルナー7点で、最も評価が高かったのはゴールとアシストを記録した三笘選手9点。その次に評価が高かったのがビリ・ギルモーガで、8.5 という評価になりました。三笘選手についてはこのように書いてあります。昨シーズンに引き続き最初の1対1からセメドに問題を起こした。2回ファールされたが、プレーを続けてゴールに向かい2人のディフェンダーをかわして見事な先制点を決めた。常に驚異的な存在となった。というふうに今回も高く評価されました。今回訳した動画の女性の方が、三笘選手は昨シーズン自信を失ってたのかもしれないとか、相手に勝負を仕掛けなかったとか、そういう話をしてたんですけれども、それについてはどのように思っていますか？僕自身は、単純にもその体力がなかったっていうか、週3試合あったので、パフォーマンスが単純に落ちたっていうふうに、捉えているんですけれども、もちろんそれぞれ自分の意見があると思いますし、考えというのがあると思うんですけども、それに関してはパフォーマンスが落ちた理由は単純に体力の問題だったと思います。やっぱり週3試合するのは、誰にとってもきついので、その理由で昨シーズン終盤に少し、落ちたのではないかと思います。皆さんもこの下のコメント欄にそれについての意見を教えていただければと思います。今回の動画はここまでになりますが、いつもよりチャンネル登録と高評価よろしくお願いいたします。毎日のように新しいコンテンツをアップロードしていますので、通知をオンにしていただければその新しいコンテンツを見逃すことがないです。